Good evening, Akron. My name is Tim Ryan, and I'd like to thank you all so much for being here with me today. I'd also like to thank you all for allowing me to serve as your representative for Ohio's 13th congressional district since 2003. It has been my honor to fight for you all these last 16 years. A lot has changed since then, but one thing I know for certain is not my love for this country. I grew up in a small town right outside of Youngstown, Ohio called Niles. And what I love about our Ohio cities like Akron or Youngstown or Niles is that it's more than just a place to live, it's a community. Growing up with a single mother for the majority of my life, that sense of community was very important to my upbringing. However, now it's time for me to give back to you all and show the rest of the country what a small town boy from Ohio can do. That's why I'm happy to announce that I will be running for the United States of America in the upcoming 2020 election. Today, we are facing a growing crisis within our country. The United States of America are becoming more and more divided every single day. We're facing a political climate where politicians are afraid to reach across the aisle. We're dealing with American citizens losing their jobs, American students dealing with violence and debt, and we're all feeling the effects of climate change. If we as American citizens continue to perpetuate the divide between us, we will never be able to heal what is ailing this country. Only through unity will we be able to provide a better future for our kids. As a country, this is what we're really fighting for. We fight hard to be able to provide better schools, better jobs, and a better life to our children. And together, we can achieve this. One of the main issues that we're facing today is the treatment of our citizens when they are in need of medical attention. In the state of Ohio alone, more than 35,000 young men and women would lose their coverage for this reason if it was not for the Affordable Care Act. Furthermore, 1.8 million senior citizens in Ohio would be forced to pay astronomical copays to get critical procedures done. As a proponent for health care and the Affordable Care Act, I understand these issues and I fight for solutions. Without the Affordable Care Act, Americans across the country would suffer. That is why I co-sponsored and fought for the Medicare for All bill. It's why I was one of the founding members of the Medicare for All caucus. Our citizens are entitled to the right to affordable health care, treatments for their friends and family, and access to options that will help with mental health. Some people will tell you that Medicare for All is too expensive to be accomplished. They say that it would cost too much money to make sure that our kids will have access to health care when they grow up. But what they won't tell you is that the United States of America already spends more money on health care per person than any country in the world. In 2017, we spent $9,237 per person on health care. That's more than $1,400 more than the next closest country, Sweden. Despite this, we still have millions of our fellow citizens who are not properly insured. In 2013, 44 million U.S. citizens were not insured. Although we were able to get that number down with the Affordable Care Act, there were still over 27 million of our friends and neighbors who were uninsured in 2017. While we've begun to make hopeful strides in the right direction, we still have a long way to go to ensure every one of us has access to the proper health care that we're entitled to. No one should be worried about whether or not they can get their life-saving treatments, and no one should be worried about going bankrupt in the process. Another one of the crippling issues we're facing today is the growing threat of climate change. We're beginning to see the effects of climate change more and more every day, and if we don't begin to address it, the consequences could be catastrophic. Our current administration does not take this threat seriously. Starting with pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord, they have proven that they will not address this issue. This year, they solidified this stance, cutting 23% of the Environmental Protection Agency's budget. This equates to $2.5 billion of funding that will no longer go towards healing our planet. Moving forward, we cannot continue this way. The science is clear, and it is proven. Greenhouse gas and CO2 emissions are continuing to rise, and with it, we will see continued instability in our weather, rising sea levels, and rising temperatures. If we're going to stop this looming threat, We have to uphold the Environmental Protection Agency, the Clean Air Act, and other initiatives with similar goals. If we wish to provide a better future and a healthy planet to our children, we have to take a stance against climate change. I've consistently voted against spending cuts for these agencies, and I will continue to fight to make sure that we still have a planet left to fight for. It has been an honor to serve our country and push for change within our House of Representatives. I have been privileged to be able to push for programs that make life easier for our laborers, for our children, and for our country. However, our country is facing a political divide that could rival any in history. This country needs a leader who will bridge the gaps, fill in the divide, and bring us all together in unison. We're currently dealing with citizens unable to receive the proper health care they need, the growing issues of student debt, and complex issues that climate change are introducing every day. With all these problems, it is important that our people know that they have a leader who will fight to make sure they are taken care of. Growing up in a small town with a single mom, I know what it's like to feel like you're not being looked out for. That's why I'm running for the President of the United States. Because our country is coming to a crossroads with this election. We can allow this administration to continue to railroad our citizens and our planet, or we can choose to fight for a better future. Together, we can make sure that future includes our citizens having access to health care and our planet being healthy. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming out tonight, and our future is now.